There's a truth Carl Jung discovered. A truth so sharp, so piercing, that once you see it, you'll never look at people the same way again. You don't need years of psychology training. You don't need to be some mind reader. To see someone's true character, you only need to pay attention to two things. And once I reveal them, you'll realize you've been blind to what's been right in front of you all along. Stay with me, because this is not just theory, it's survival. In my 20+ years of studying human nature, I've learned one thing. The mask people wear is almost always stronger than their truth. Every smile, every word, every gesture is a crafted performance. But the mask can't hold forever. So how do you pierce it? How do you see through the armor, the lies, the show? Carl Jung gave us the answer, and it boils down to just two things. But before I tell you, understand this. Your success, your peace, your survival depends on how quickly you can see a person's real character. Choose wrong and you waste years of your life. Choose right and you walk with allies instead of enemies. And the truth is, most people don't want you to know who they really are. Jung studied the psyche like a surgeon studies the body. He understood that character isn't revealed in words, but in cracks. 2 cracks to be exact. If you want to see who someone really is, look at 1. How they treat people who can't benefit them. 2. How they behave when they're under stress. That's it. 2 windows into the soul. Everything else is decoration. Think about it. Anyone can smile at a boss. Anyone can charm a lover. Anyone can put on manners at a dinner table. But how do they treat the waiter? The janitor? The person with nothing to offer them? That's where the mask slips. Because kindness toward equals is easy. Respect toward superiors is survival. But compassion toward the powerless, that reveals the truth. I once knew a man who donated thousands to charity. Everyone praised his generosity, but when I watched him speak to a taxi driver, I saw venom, arrogance, disgust. And in that moment I knew his donations were theater. His kindness was performance. His character was poison. Jung was right. How someone treats those who don't matter shows whether they are human or hollow. Now the second window. Stress, pressure, fear. That's when the mask crumbles. A person can hold composure when things are easy, but throw them into chaos and the unconscious takes the wheel. Do they lash out? Do they crumble? Do they turn cruel? Or do they stay grounded, fair, even in the storm? I've seen men who were saints when things were smooth turn into devils the moment life squeezed them. Character is not proven in comfort. It's proven in crisis. Jung believed the unconscious mind reveals itself when ego defenses collapse. Stress is the hammer that cracks the mask. And what spills out in that moment, that is who they really are. Now combine these 2 truths. Watch how they treat the powerless. Watch how they act under pressure. Together, these form an X-ray of the soul. You don't need years to know someone. You only need moments. Moments when they think no one's watching. Moments when they're stripped of control. That's where the truth lives. Let's go deeper. Why do these 2 things matter so much? Because both reveal what Jung called the shadow. The shadow is the hidden side of the personality, the instincts, desires, impulses we try to bury. When someone interacts with the powerless, their shadow leaks out. The ego doesn't feel threatened, so it doesn't guard itself. The person acts naturally, and that natural treatment shows the raw, unfiltered shadow. And when someone is under stress, the ego cracks, defenses break, the shadow bursts through. That's why both powerless moments and stressful moments are like mirrors. They reflect the hidden truth. And once you learn to watch for them, you'll start seeing people's shadows everywhere. I remember a business partner I once trusted, charismatic, intelligent, everyone loved him. But one day, I noticed how he snapped at a waitress for a tiny mistake. His eyes filled with rage over something so small. That was a red flag. Months later, when our company hit financial stress, he showed his real face. Greed, betrayal, he stole, he lied, he vanished. And I thought back to that moment with the waitress. The truth was there all along. I also knew a woman, gentle, kind, soft-spoken. You'd think nothing could shake her. But when life hit her with loss and chaos, she didn't break. She stood stronger, calmer, even more compassionate to those around her. That's character. That's real strength. And you don't see it in words. You see it in storms. So how do you use this? Simple. Next time you meet someone, pay less attention to their polished words. Watch how they treat people who can't give them anything. Observe them in stress, traffic, mistakes, failure, rejection. That's where the truth hides. Don't ignore the little red flags. They're not little. They're the shadow whispering. And don't ignore the signs of strength. A person who treats the powerless with dignity and stays calm under pressure. That's gold. Those are the allies you want. But there's one more thing. This truth doesn't only apply to others. It applies to you. How do you treat those who can't benefit you? How do you behave when the storm hits? That is your character, not your words, not your mask, not your reputation, but your shadow, revealed in powerless moments and pressure. So don't just study others. Study yourself, because the greatest power is not in exposing others. It's in mastering your own shadow. Carl Jung gave us a mirror and 2 windows into the soul. Treatment of the powerless, behavior under stress. Watch for them, remember them, trust them. Because people can fake words, fake smiles, fake charm, but they cannot fake the shadow when it leaks through the cracks. And once you see it, you'll never be deceived again. That's how you see someone's true character. If this message resonated with you, if it opened your eyes even a little, then you already know the value of these truths. So stay with me, because this journey doesn't end here. We're just getting started. The deeper you go into psychology, the more power you have over your life and over the world around you. Subscribe, stay sharp, and remember, character is everything.